Welcome to the house showdown. I'm not calling it that. I just renovated a house. But I think it's funnier to call it a house showdown. In this corner, we have what's it called? Upland Place, originally owned by Premade Sim from Get Famous Vanessa Zhang. In the other corner, we have the version I'm gonna make it into. This doesn't work. I'm sorry. Welcome to the video. Uh, Today's objective is I wanted to renovate one of the pre-made houses, and I did that, and it's exciting. It's fun. So I decided to go with a house from Get Famous because I don't really build in Del Sol Valley that much, and I decided to go with Vanessa Zhang's house because I think this house is cool. I like the style of it, and I just wanted to do something with it since I never really built in this style, I'll admit. But yeah, I like it. I think it's kind of cool. And going forward, I would like to make more of these kind of West Coast craftsman houses. So, a bit about the sim who lives here. I could open up her fandom wiki. In fact, I'm gonna do that and see what we can get. But she was one of the pre-made sims. She was the pre-made sim in the trailer, actually, for Get Famous. She has hair, and if this loads, I can. Oh, her name is Vanessa with an E? Oh my god, newsflash, her name is Vanessa with an E. Anyway, I made her this house. I think it's nice. I did stuff with colors, I did stuff with layout. I changed basically everything about it, but it's still the same style architecturally, so you can tell they're related. Yes. So my objective with this was just to make something that I thought was a bit nicer aesthetically. I kept it back from the road, which I liked. I kept as similar a roof line as I could, but obviously I completely redid it and I extended the porch to match the width of the front of the house because I thought it looked kind of awkward with the roof just hanging over a little bit of nothing like that. I also added some more rooms jutting out the side and just made the back of the house a bit more even so that it could follow the same width of the gable in the front. Also, I used the word gable because I'm fancy. But yes, this is the build. I quite like how it turned out. I will say it's a one bedroom, one bathroom. It is about 45K almost. It's on this 40 by 30 lot. And it has this I didn't use the whole width of the lot, but if you'd like to, I have this kind of driveway space that was originally on the lot that I decided to keep because I just couldn't be bothered to do anything else over there. I basically didn't touch it. You could use that to make a garage. You could add other details there. Use it for whatever you want. I don't care if you're downloading this. I really hope you just take creative license to do whatever you wish with it. But if you're going to download it, check out my website where I have a link to download the builds I make. And by a link, I mean a series of links that I'll just link to a Google Drive folder with the tray files because I'm weird and petty. Not petty, I'm just weird, and I refuse to use the gallery. But yes, that's how you can access this build if you so wish. Um, about the build itself, there's nothing really special that I can bring up right now. I made it green and orange and brown because I never use the orange door and the kind of very reddish brown windows. I actually quite like this tone. I think it's very pretty. I think it has a nice feel to it, and I like how it pairs with the orange on the front door as well. But yeah, I like how it turned out. And I ended up adding shutters to the windows in the front and back and also on one of the sides just because to me having wooden shutters is just a very quintessential kind of craftsman aesthetic choice that I wanted to kind of hone in on for this, just because while I may not live in California or have ever been to California, I've seen a fair number of craftsman houses like growing up and in various places I've lived. So I really wanted to capture that to the best of my ability. Another bit of lore for this house because I actually took this as an opportunity to completely like make my own version of this Vanessa Jean character. I actually have her page pulled up. Um, her only skills are in acting and mixology. Okay, cool. Uh, yeah. So I kind of just imagined the character as I so wished, which is to say I gave her a guitar, a little cat statue, and some cat stuff. So maybe she liked cats. And a weird detail that I'll point out when we get to it is I like to imagine that she's into like horror movies or something because there's there's a couple of posters, maybe more than two, but there's a handful of posters that like give the impression of being from like a horror movie or something. One of them is a car painting from Strangerville that's in the living room, which I'm working on right now. Actually, I don't keep this. I kind of wanted to keep some original details or some details from the build as it was originally. That was not one I kept because it just made the flow really weird. But I do put a painting of a car from Strangerville, and for some reason, the first thing I thought of was the film version of Christine. I've never seen it. Christine by Stephen King, that is. I've never seen it. I've never read it. All I know is there's a car in it, and people sometimes will talk about a movie where a car becomes possessed and like just terrorizes humanity, and they're actually talking about Herbie Fully Loaded with Lindsay Lohan. I'm not, so but yeah, I put that in there and I thought that was a fun detail. Also, this is a good time to mention I finally got Horse Ranch. It's cool. It gets a thumbs up for the build and buy. I also like the Create a Sim. It's quite nice. I've not made a horse yet because when I first started playing it, it was in the middle of the night and I was tired and there's the painting. I didn't want to commit to making a whole ass horse in that moment. So I have not made a horse yet, but I will hopefully make a big thing and share that sometime soon because I also have not made a ranch yet. I've only made just a couple Sims in a smaller kind of house. But yeah, hopefully I'll get a chance to kind of play with that and show off with it. Anyway, this is the living room, and this is where I will finally talk about that lore I was going to bring in because I keep getting distracted and rambling. I imagined that, so Vanessa is like, her whole vibe is that she's like new in town, she's trying to be an up and coming celebrity. I was thinking that she got this house from like a family member or someone who was like, hey, I have this house out in like LA or whatever, or like Anaheim or wherever the hell. I've never been to California again. I've only watched house shows that take place in California on HGTV. She had like a family member or someone who was like, hey, I have this house. I'm going to be moving for some reason or another. Do you want to maybe get my house for like a nice price? And she was like, oh yeah, sure. And it came furnished. At least the living room was furnished. So there's like this kind of older craftsman furniture that really is just like craftsman furniture. And then in the bedroom, I use a bed from high school years because I cannot stop using beds from high school years because I really like them. And I was imagining that's like an older bed frame that was left behind, and she bought some new sheets for it. So like those are fun and trendy and like youthful. And then the bed itself is like this thicker, more ornate frame that you really wouldn't be able to buy nowadays. And then some of that furniture is kind of old in the bedroom. There's this one mirror that I think is really beautiful. The kitchen is like the linoleum in this house. Oh, there's the bed I'm talking about. I love that. It's one of my favorite beds. But like the linoleum is like ancient and stuff. So I really had fun with those kind of little world building aspects of this. And yeah, just kind of creating the idea that she is this younger person who like sort of inherited the house, so to speak, but she like made it her own to the best of her ability. Anyway, I think that's about all I have to share. Oh, also, I imagine that she wants a cat and doesn't have a cat, so she has like little cat things, but she's not ready for a cat. I think that's all I have to share about like my thoughts on like the build and stuff. Hi, sorry, pause myself for a second. I think that's all I had to say about the build. I had fun making it. I still love that mirror. I will say this. I think the Basement Treasures kit may be one of my favorites of the kits. Also, quick opinion that's been brewing in my little dome for a bit. I'm kind of not furious, but like very confounded by the fact that I've seen zero people kind of talk about or realize that kits as like a concept in The Sims 4 maybe, just maybe, are related to a pandemic happening and like having to shift how like the Sims team was delegating work and how they were able to put out content. And this was just like the most achievable. I'm sorry, I've been thinking about this so much and I cannot put it into words for the life of me because I'm stupid. But like, I think about this sometimes late at night, how so many people complain about kids and like, oh, they're replacing stuff packs, they're a money grab. First of all, they are $5. Shut the hell up. I'm so sorry. They're $5. Uh, and I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment. I'm not gonna have a moment. All I'm gonna say is maybe, just maybe, during a pandemic, this was the best way to put out content without, causing issues with your staff who perhaps cannot work the same way they used to when there was no pandemic. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe that's why stuff packs had to take up a little bit of a backseat, because they're back now. And you know what? The world didn't explode. I'm sorry. I'm in a mood today. No particular reason. Nothing really happened to me today. I went to Wendy's. That was like one of the highlights of my day. Yeah, that was, I think, no, that's not true. The highlight of my day is I started sword fighting. Um I'm not going to get into that as much right now, but that's a new thing I'm trying to do with my life, is join new activities that use my body in unique ways. So like I've tried to start dancing, and I've been doing cardio conditioning, and I'm starting up a class for that again in April. So that's exciting. I'm gonna go back to the gym because I was in the gym last winter, and then I took a little bit of a break because of just like some scheduling and some other stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to that. I'm excited for that. Um, but yeah, that's me getting away from my rambling. I've been very rambly lately, like just in general. I don't know what's up with me. I think I've just not been talking to people quite enough, or maybe I haven't been getting enough sleep or something. I don't know. Also, quick note: that chair that I put in front of the mirror prevents the mirror from being usable. I end up moving it after I took the screenshots, so that is all resolved. I actually play tested this house for once. I say because sometimes I'll think I play tested something thoroughly enough and I didn't. But no, I made sure I did that pretty thoroughly, and I have some screenshots actually of the house with the sim in it. Oh, speaking of packs, I brought up stuff packs earlier when I was rambling and ranting and raving. New stuff pack just dropped recently. I don't have it, but I think it looks really nice. I really I really like the look of it. I think it's like the perfect amount of like new stuff added to a stuff pack, and I love how it reincorporates old stuff. I can understand like that saves you on like time and assets and stuff, and also just kind of revitalizes a part of the game. I like I like what they're doing with it. I understand there's some stuff going on with like there's like a glitch going on. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't own the fucking pack. Um but yeah, it's a little bit of a whoopsie going on with it. But like aside from that, everything I've seen in it, like all the assets in it, look beautiful. So if I were not, as I quote, the stingiest motherfucker, I would hopefully own it sometime soon because I like it a lot and I want to play with it. It looks fun. Anyway, I talked over the bathroom. You're not even gonna see that bathroom for the most part. It's so insignificant. Here is the kitchen. The kitchen I tried not to make super full or cluttered because I imagined this is one sim who lives alone and has all this upper storage, upper cabinetry that she wouldn't like just leave a bunch of stuff out, hopefully, but also that's just how life goes. Also, this is a huge kitchen, is all I'm gonna say. This kitchen feels so massive. I totally could have given her like a dishwasher too when I'm thinking about it, but again, it's one person. One person does not need a dishwasher. Maybe in another timeline, I would have taken half that kitchen and made it like a dining space. Oh, here's the shutters I talked about. But yeah, maybe in another timeline, I could have done something different with that kitchen just to use the space differently and then have space available in that kind of like that thoroughfare where the dining table is. But at the same time, whatever. It's The Sims. It's a kitchen. It functions, and I think the space is also better for function in the game. So yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. I just ran out of topics to talk about for a second there. I've been trying to get better at like not just doing this kind of stuff, but public speaking in general. It's actually just one of my goals in life is to get more comfortable speaking to people, even if those people technically don't exist. Like in the sense that the people watching this video don't exist technically until I post the video. So really I'm talking to no one right now, which you'd think is easy because I'll admit I talk to no one a lot, or I talk to myself a lot, like when I'm driving, just to help me stay awake. But once you're like sitting in a chair and your roommates are in the other room and you're staring at a screen of yourself playing a video game, suddenly talking to yourself feels really weird, is all I'm gonna say. But whatever. Yeah, I've been one of my goals just for this year has been to get better at public speaking. So I'm actually giving a bit of a talk at a thing I'm going to sometime soon in a couple weeks, and that's exciting. I have to present at a lab meeting, which is not it's not like fancy or anything. It's just I have to present to some people about the stuff I've been working on. I'm doing a few like little presentations and speaking things this year. I'm very excited that I've actually like branched out and like come out of my shell in that way, and hopefully I'll be able to continue doing that. And I think this has again just been like a really big help in kind of instilling that in me. Anyway, this is more or less the interior done. I put a guitar, yes. I don't think I put anything else. I tried to keep it sort of scaled back. Oh, I put a hallway table. Oh, I don't do that just yet. Sorry. I tried to keep it kind of scaled back with the artwork because number one, artwork is very expensive in the game and in real life, especially framing it, as I found trying to buy picture frames for all my posters and spending way more money than I intended to. But I just tried to be kind of limited with artwork to also lend better credence to the idea that she's like a younger person trying to make it in the world. She has more important things to spend money on than like pretty paintings. So I tried to have there be like more posters, um, those little frames that come in the collages from Movie Hangout. I imagine those are like little things you'd find at a thrift store. Maybe some of those you could paint over yourself. I've definitely seen a YouTube video of that, and it's quite fun. And then like the stuff she would have gotten with the house, and then mostly posters, because also she's like a young person, and I feel like posters are a young person thing, especially in that little office nook that I made. I was imagining that was like a gutted closet. Actually, that's one of the few things I didn't test in this build. Um, so hopefully that works fine, and if it doesn't, just delete the wall in the little casement opening. Well, whatever, it'll work if you do that, because like the space itself is fine. But yes, this is the landscaping in, oh my god, growing together, the San Sequoia world, fucking San Francisco light. They have these yellow flowers. I am blanking on the name of them because I'm not a California resident and I do not give a shit about I'll admit it, I don't give a shit about California, but there's these yellow flowers that they have. I tried to kind of imitate the vibe of that and that aspect of the color scheme by adding some yellow flowers in the front. And I think I had a few in the back as well. I actually do add some in the back, yes. So I tried my best to kind of bring that vibe into this because this is supposed to also be like a California suburb. At least this part's a suburb. I know the other parts of Del Sol Valley are like less, I don't know what you'd call it when it's not a suburb in the sense that it's not just like another neighborhood in a larger city, but also is like, it's not rural. It's absolutely not rural. It's just like out of the way. I guess a suburb still. I don't know. This is all very complicated. As someone who's not a homeowner, or a member of a homeowner's like listserv or whatever, I don't entirely feel confident on like what delineates suburban, urban, rural, that kind of stuff, because I feel like it really just depends on where you are and like how much infrastructure there is and whatever. It's all fake. None of it's real. Nothing is real. But no. So like I tried to kind of instill that. One thing I would have added, if I hadn't finished this, and I decided I'm not going to add it just because like I already took the screenshots, and also I'm trying to like get better about making things and just letting them be and not having to constantly correct them, is just some more succulents, because the original landscaping had some like agave looking plants, and on the sides of the lot you see like these cacti and whatnot. It's like it could have been cool if I worked that in, but at the same time I'm happy with what I have. I think it looks nice. I also like these window boxes. They look like pansies in there a little bit, like pansies and impatiens, which are great for window boxes, I will just say, because my mom would always put those in her window box every single year because they're really They're really inexpensive typically, really easy to grow. They're annuals, so you don't have to worry about maintaining them, which is also great for any sort of hanger or window box because you are not going to be able to maintain those. They are going to die and wither away. Anyway, we're back in the kitchen for a second because I decided to add a microwave and a couple other pieces of decoration. I was thinking of adding like an extra corner cabinet thing because I've definitely seen that in some kitchens, but ultimately I feel like it was a bit much. So I just put like some cookbooks over there to kind of give the idea of like a more cluttered lived-in kitchen. But also, again, thinking about it, she lives alone. It would be kind of weird to have like a ton of like clutter in a kitchen when there's only one person using it. But whatever. It looks cool. I have two completely empty counters for you to cook on, so you can invite someone over to cook together. You can like have a partner move in or something. I don't think this would be big enough to like add a second bedroom, but hey, if you're up for it, you can do it. Anyway, with that said, this is more or less coming to a close as I add in a few more details. I'd like to thank you for watching. Again, if you want to download this, check out my website in the description as always. Thank you again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this build and have a lovely day.